at the same time, I felt that that process left me with unfinished business. And to me, the A-Team was the completion of that business. I wanted to do a big off action franchise, whatever. You know, people say you're a big fan of the A-Team. My wife loved it. I couldn't give a shit about the A-Team. I like Miami Vice when I was a kid. I didn't care.
Well, nobody got killed on the A-Team.
Exactly. Nobody got killed.
There was no stakes.
I was like, but I thought, okay, I can make something of this. It's out of my wheelhouse. It looks challenging. I didn't do this on Mission Impossible. I want to see if I've got this kind of skill set, and I did it. But
what a hack. For those who don't know, recently I did a video, my thoughts on the A-Team TV show, which I grew up with, really enjoyed. Fun rewatching the show, especially the first 4 seasons. The 5th season was pretty lame, but the first 4 seasons was good. Now, if you're wondering what that audio was, that was an audio from a YouTube channel called Cinefix, Cinefix, where guy was interviewing Joe Carnahan, the director of the A-Team movie from 2010. The story behind that was he was going to do Mission Impossible 3. Tom Cruise had disagreements with him, so Joe Carnahan left, got fired, however you want to put it. But he was butthurt and a crybaby. I want to do a big movie. Even though he hasn't made a damn good film ever in his entire fucking career. So, hey, here's the A-Team, based on this popular show that, as you heard, he doesn't give a shit about. He never gave a shit about. He just did it because he wanted to do a Mission Impossible type film, since Tom Cruise probably saw how shitty he is as a writer and director and said, I don't want that motherfucker fucking up my franchise. If you're wondering why I have this, long ago someone sent me a bunch of movies for free, and this was one of them. So maybe Tom Cruise was a smart guy and said, no, I don't want the guy who made the overrated crap fest known as Smoking Aces, and then the boring, overhyped, overrated The Grey, a survival film that no one fucking survives. Oh, and then you get Joe Carney to help write the fucking film, as well as direct it. And you know who else you get to write it? Skip Woods, the piece of shit writer of Sabotage, A Good Day to Die Hard, Hitman, and X-Men Origins Wolverine. Skippy Woods and Joe Carney. How about you both go fuck each other with peanut butter? I know people like this film, teach their own. I'm actually a fan of the TV show. And Joe Carney, fine, you're not a fan of the show, then don't direct the fucking film. Do your own more of your own shitty films. All these years to get an A-Team movie, and this piece of shit happens. People like the film. I don't know why. Again, this comes from a guy who loves the original show. This came out in 2010. You know what else came out in 2010? The first Expendables and The Losers. Both much better than this. Hell, The Losers is a better A-Team movie than this. Before that, John Singleton, may he rest in peace, he wanted to direct an A-Team film. And you know what the cast rumored for his film was? Mel Gibson as Hannibal Smith, Dwayne Johnson as B.A. Baracus, Christian Bale as Templeton Peck, and Jim Carrey as Murdoch. Sorry, Murdoch. I want to see that fucking film. From John Singleton. All those four, I didn't buy in those roles. I want to see that fucking film. Let me visit the dimension where I can see that fucking film. So no, Joe Carney, just broke Dick Fountain ass, couldn't get Mission Impossible 3 because again, Tom Cruise was smart and realized how dumb and overrated of a writer and director Joe Carney is. So he's like, yeah, don't let this motherfucker near my franchise. Okay, fine, you work on it. This is what you want to do. Goodbye. Piss off. So you get the asshole team. That's what the A stands for. Abomination team. Fucking band ABBA. More badass than this fucking team. Assholes Anonymous. The double A team. Alcoholics Anonymous. Yeah, drink alcohol to enjoy the goddamn film. So the movie stars Liam Neeson as Hannibal Smith, which Liam Neeson I like as an actor. I'm fine with him in the role. I think he does the best that he can with the crappy script he got. Sharlto Copley from District 9, he's Murdoch. He was a fan of the show, and he's doing the best that he can with the script he's got. But these two are poorly cast and totally did not work. Terrible miscasting. Bradley Cooper is not a good face man. He's not a good Templeton Peck. Face has to be charismatic, charming. I don't get that with this guy. This guy is more douchebro. That's another term. Douchebroski. That's what his fucking name might have been. Templeton Douchebroski. He's the type of guy who knocked on your door. Hey dude, you got any brewsties? Butt buddies with Colin Farrell from the Fright Night remake. He just did not work at all. And the way he's always like, hey, wow, foxtrot. He's always like, are you on Ritalin or something? Calm the hell down, man. You take some speed? Terrible. Like, to me, Bradley Cooper's worst acting performance. And I don't hate Bradley Cooper. I like a film he was in called Limitless. The first Hangover I liked. Sequels suck. He's good as Rocket Raccoon, voicing that character in the Guardians of the Galaxy films. But he did not fit in this at all. They only hired him because of the success of The Hangover. That's the only reason. And then Rampage Jackson as B.A. Baracus, the worst casting in the movie. Yeah, I know, you're not going to capture Mr. T. But you know what? Ving Rhames would have been a hell lot better. Even fucking Ice Cube would have been better than Rampage Jackson. Ice Cube, Ving Rhames, fucking Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. There's so many other people you could have picked. Rampage, I don't know why they chose this guy. I guess because he's in UFC. That's not good enough. He doesn't have the presence. He doesn't have the it factor. I'm not saying you need an Academy Award winner to play the roles, but you need an it factor. And the only it this guy has is shit. That's why he doesn't work anymore in the acting front. If he does, I feel sorry for them. Other people in the cast, you had Jessica Biel, character that did not need to be in the movie, as someone chasing the A-team who has somewhat of a past with Bradley Cooper's character. Patrick Wilson from the Conjuring films, he's in this as Lynch. Guy, one of these guys who's chasing after the A-team. You find out he's the villain. Joe McRaney If I got his name wrong, I apologize. I remember him from the TV show Major Dad from decades ago. He's there at the general. Of course, you could tell that something's amiss because when he dies, when you see enough movies, when you've introduced a character in a, I wouldn't say substantial amount, but a decent amount of screen time, when their death scene happens, there's going to be some shots where you see their face, their reaction, but when they just pull in the vehicle and there's no shots of their face, their body, and then boom, the car blows up, you know, you're pretty damn sure that, the movie gave us no shots of him in the car, but they built up the character enough that it would have done that. I bet he didn't really get blown up. Oh, yep, nope. Because he had 3 writers on this. Because, like, who's the other person? Brian Bloom? I don't know who the hell that is. Like, who the fuck is Brian Bloom? But yeah, Skip Woods and Joe Carnahan. The movie, the plot is almost incomprehensible, which should not be the case for a fucking A-Team film. The A-Team film is more complicated than most Mission Impossible films, which is ironic since director wanted to do I want to do Mission Impossible 3. Mission Impossible 3 is better than the A-Team movie. I reviewed the Mission Impossible films. I like the first one, the third one, Road Nation, and this new one, Fallout. Didn't care for Ghost Protocol, not big on part 2. But you know what? I'd rather watch those than the A-Team. Mission Impossible 2, with all the problems I have, I'd rather watch that than the A-Team movie. Because at least the action is directed competently by John Woo. There's other issues I have with it. But this, the action scenes are piss poorly done. Joe Carnahan cannot film an action scene to save his life. You kind of figure that from Smoking Aces. He doubled down on that in this. The camera shake your booty, shake it now. Shake your booty out the fucking well. Joe Carnahan, shake your fucking booty loving ass out of the goddamn film industry, please. And I hope it's getting better in action films because of the John Wick films, but I never understood this whole thing of how an action scene is supposedly so much better if you shake the camera like this. I guess because of Saving Private Ryan and the Bourne films, which I'm not even a fan of the Bourne films, I never thought that way of filming an action sequence was appealing. I would love to find the people who think that's appealing to look at. To not be able to see what's going on, have the camera do this, so give you a migraine to try to, like, what? It's almost as if the filmmakers go, listen, we don't know how to do this. We can't film these properly, but if we shake it, you won't notice how crappy we did it. Well, that's not the case. Well, if that's not the case, they certainly make it seem as if that's the case with the way they film action scenes, including in this movie. And then the ones that aren't, it's just over-the-top CGI, which you don't need in an A-Team movie. I saw 5 seasons of the show just recently. Rewatching it. Again, the 4 seasons are good. 5th one, the last one, is bad. And funny enough, the last season, the 5th one, the worst one, I swear this movie took cues from that. Because that 5th season, what did it try to be? A Mission Impossible type of story. What did this movie try to be? A Mission Impossible type of story. You know what the story of the A-Team is? You sum up the origin in like 90 seconds. They were accused of a crime they didn't commit. They escaped into the LA underground. If you need a problem and there's no one to help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-team. And they go around and helping the common folk. The regular people who need soldiers of fortunes and need help. That's what the A-team is. And what the A-team is, they set up in the last 10 seconds of the goddamn movie. The first 2 hours, like the extended cut is like 2 hours and 13 minutes. How long is the theatrical cut? 119 minutes, so pretty much 2 hours. Of this boring, overcomplicated, incomprehensible origin story with a lot of fucking convenience added in. Oh, how did these four meet? Well, Liam Neeson's character just had a plan where they try to shoot him with his gun, but there's no firing pin. And thankfully, they drop the gun 2 feet away from him so that when he escapes from the ropes, he puts the firing pin back in. God forbid what would have happened if the bad guys actually took the gun and left. Thus, there'd be no gun for him to put the firing pin in. Then he runs off. Randomly, a van is driving by and happens to be bracketed by Rampage Jackson. Where before we see in this terrible, horribly shot action sequence with the shaking, where it's from the back of his head, trying to punch people, kick people, and I'm like, are you shaking? Like, do you think Rampage Jackson can't do the fight scenes? He's in the fucking UFC. Think he could do it. Or at least I think he was at one point with MMA. Put the camera still. So poorly done. As a Rampage Jackson does not have the it factor. The random chance that he happens to be driving, Liam Neeson finds them, shoots the guy in the arm. Of course, Rampage Jackson is pissed because he got shot in the arm, and then shows that they both have Army Ranger tattoos. You have a tattoo, I have a tattoo. Hey, we got tattoos. Tattoo to you. Look at my tattoo. Now look at my tattoo. We got tattoos. So we're buddies. We're tattoo buddies. Tattoo. Fine, both of you go to fucking Tatooine. And find a Millennium Falcon to catch. Look at my tattoo. Look at the tattoo. Fine, like I said, go to fucking Tatooine. Jesus Christ. Like, that's the best you come up with. 3 writers. 3 fucking writers. How do they mean it? How do they bond? We both have the same tattoo. So it's okay that you shot me in the arm and you're stealing my van. So they don't help Bradley Cooper, who is more obnoxious than charming. Who is more just being loud and like a frat guy. Then Templeton Peck was supposed to be, you know, the charming guy who you want to be, but still has a fun attitude. This character wasn't it. They should just call him a different fucking character. So they escape in a lame sequence. Then they go to this hospital, and just so happens Murdoch is there, played by Sharlto Copley, which I said, Sharlto Copley is doing the best that he can with this script. Although some of the stuff they have written, Murdoch on that show was crazy. He would not fucking light someone's arm on fire, which is one of the first things this Murdoch does. It lights someone's arm on fucking fire. I'm like, what? So, of course, he's a helicopter pilot. They fly off. And this culminates what the movie is. Rampage Jackson had driven the iconic A-Team van, parked it there. While the helicopter's flying off, it hits something, and it pancakes the van. And you never see the van again. So you just crushed and killed the iconic A-Team van. That's pretty much just saying, hey, you like the show? Fuck the show. No, fuck you, movie. Suck a dick. Joe Carney and Stippy Woods. I'll cover my dick in peanut butter. Make you feel at home, Stippy. People are like, why are you so pissed? Because a John Singleton film with Mel Gibson, Christian Bale, Jim Carrey, and The Rock, or hell, if it was, or Ving Rhames, or whoever it could have been, I want to see that movie more than this. I want to see a director who didn't give a shit about the A-Team. I'm more of a Miami Vice guy. But you know what? Go jerk off to Miami Vice. And I have no problem with Miami Vice TV show. But just spend your time jerking off to the show than making a shitty movie that maybe someone else could have taken this property and make a good movie, which would have actually been a hit instead of this was a flop. They didn't make the money, thus no sequels, even though sequels were planned. Because you fucked it up, Joel Carney. And you blame him because he helped write the fucking thing and he directed it. So they pancake the van, fuck you to that. Oh, that's from the show, so fuck it, it sucks. No, you suck. Then they have a helicopter chase. Does this thing where he turns off the motors, falls back, the missiles hit, starts the helicopter back up again. And I know you can't really talk about it being unrealistic because it's not like this show was a realistic show either. It's a live action cartoon. I understand that. But this pushed it way too fucking far. It should have been one of those things that you didn't go crazy outlandish, but do what you can on a practical level. Not later, because on the show, when you watch the action scenes are not that over the top because it's practically done. They had to for a TV show, and it looks good. And yes, they didn't murder people. They didn't kill people. You know what? I love people killing people in movies like the next guy. I got a fucking Cobra and a Hard Target poster and a Rambo 3 poster. But you know what? For a TV show about people who are helping the common folk, it made sense to me that they wouldn't just go out and murder people and be for punishers. When you look at it that way, it kind of makes fucking sense why they didn't shoot people. And if you think about it, it kind of made Vietnam vets in a good note when you watch the A-Team. Wow, they were not just... Because usually it's like Vietnam vets, they're crazy and they went apeshit because of Vietnam. That's one of the only times you can see that a Vietnam vet wasn't disturbed and, actually was doing fine. Because sometimes that happens too. And believe me, I have a Rambo cap on. So I'm fine with the other route too, folks. But I brought all that up because of the whole, it's dumb to say it's unrealistic, blah, blah, blah. That wouldn't happen. I get that. But this is pushing it. When you later on you have the fucking tank scene all done in CG I'll just skip to that now, where they're all in a tank. It's falling in the air, and they're shooting shells to slow it down, and then they turn the cannon and they're shooting to let the tank go this way. So they're flying a fucking tank. And then Bradley Cooper comes out the machine gun, shooting the drones. Ah, yeah, fuck you, yeah. Just being an over-the-top douchebag bro that I'm like, Templeton Peck isn't, this is not Templeton. I don't know who the fuck you're playing, Bradley Cooper, but it's not the face man. It's not. Did it have to be? Yeah, otherwise don't make a fucking A-Team movie. That's why at least, go watch The Losers, which is a better movie. So after the helicopter chase at the beginning, one thing leads to another, they escape. It's now like 8 years later and 80 missions later. Although apparently in these 80 missions, BA has never fucking flew because of the helicopter thing. Something happened where Bradley Cooper was able to pull the big Rampage Jackson with one arm onto the helicopter, and poor CGI backgrounds. Wow, it's so photorealistic. It's photorealistic as the PS2 game I just played the other day. I mention that because they're about to go on another mission, and Rampage just like, I'm not going to fly. Oh, you won't forget that thing in Mexico, huh? So 8 years of 80 missions, there's never been a mission, those 80, that you've had to deal with this whole he doesn't want to fly stuff. 80 missions in 8 years? Really? That's a little thing I noticed. And the plot dealing with like plates for, money, currency. I'm like, are you fucking serious? This is the best you can come up with as part of a plot of the A-Team? Shit that I could see on Beverly Hills Cop 3, where they were doing that in the amusement park, which led to the scene where Eddie Murphy changed the money to him smiling, and it says, "Kiss my ass." The general, major dad says, "Don't do it." Liam Neeson's like, "We want to do it." "Fine, you're going to do it." This is something that could have taken 50 seconds, but it feels like it lasts 5 minutes, this conversation. They do the mission. By luck. And again, just piss poorly directed action sequences with shaky cam and poor editing, so you can't understand what the hell is going on, or it's very hard to see. Successful mission, they get back, the general dies, even though you don't see him, so like, They're in trial, they did dishonorably discharged. Although I thought, when Rampage first saw Liam Neeson, I thought he said he was already dishonorably discharged. I thought he said that. I could be wrong, but I'm like, if that was the case, then how the hell did he get back in again? Whatever. Maybe he did. Maybe I'm wrong on that. So months pass by. Once again, a lot of fucking chance and convenience. Patrick Wilson's like, "We want you to find these plates. Here's something to maybe, knock you out, make you pretend to be dead." And thankfully Liam Neeson wakes up just in time as he's ready to be in the fucking furnace to burn. Like literally in 10 more seconds he would burn, but thankfully he wakes up just at that instance. Again, luck and convenience might as well have been the subtitle on this. The A-Team, luck and convenience. Just like how they break out Rampage. He's on a prison bus, and a car goes by, and they have to make sure, for this plan to work, that he's going to actually look at the license plate, not only from behind, but in front of the vehicle that's driving next to them. Like, if I'm on a prison bus, I'm probably like just looking around or looking into space. Let alone, how the fuck did you even know he'd be by the window seat? For all you... But thankfully he sees those license plates and he escapes. And then the stupid notion in the script that because of his time in prison, now he doesn't want to be violent. Yeah, that's what you want to see out of a B.A. Baracus in an A-Team movie, where a good chunk of the fucking film, he doesn't want to punch people and be violent. Again, why would we want to see that? Can someone answer me that, please? Joe Carney? Can you answer me that, please? Thank you. So they get Murdoch out in the scene that I still don't understand it, where they put 3D glasses on, they're watching a movie, but as the vehicle is coming towards them, an actual vehicle busts through the wall. And I'm like, what, did the drivers just time it for them to hit the wall as the footage is showing? I didn't even understand how the fuck that worked. It's just one of those trying to be funny scenes. They try to do the Murdoch and B.A. friendship that was in the TV show, but it doesn't work at all because there's no chemistry. A lot of that I blame on Rampage Jackson having no charisma, no presence, no it factor, and also the script. Hey Murdoch, be crazy and pretend to be Braveheart. Stuff like that. So, a lot of stuff where they... At one point they grab this guy to try and clear their names, and they hook the parachute because they put a parachute on the guy, they push him off, he parachutes, a helicopter comes by, grabs the end part of the parachute, and CGI glory. They get the guy, he comes back, they get him to a place, they find out, oh, shot, it's the general. He's actually alive. Not too long, because 5 minutes later, he gets blown up with the place. And long story short, it ends up in a fucking finale where Murdoch doesn't really do anything. He's just there to almost get shot. So, like, Sharlto Copley's character has nothing to do at the end of the fucking film, even though it's part of the team. And there's a lot of episodes of the A-Team where Murdoch was a very essential piece of the puzzle. It's on a shipyard where... Oh, of course, I know I skipped the scene where they escape with the tank, but I already described that scene. How fucking dumb it is. Yes, even for an A-Team movie, a flying tank is fucking stupid. They never... I don't remember a single action scene in the show that was as dumb as that. I just watched the show again. Maybe my friend Effrey or someone could tell me an action scene on the show that was as dumb as that. Where, turn the tank, shoot the shell. I'm like, what the fuck? And just the CGI glory, like a show that was done so practically for real, and this garbage, and it's so stupid. It's directed by an idiot. And it's written by a moron. Or 3 morons. Might as be called Curly, Larry, and Moe who wrote the fucking script. Might as well been. Yes, even for an 18 movie, it's stupid. And at the end, there's all these shipping containers and like 85 CGI shipping containers fly around and bounce around Rampage as if it's fucking Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, whatever the fuck, or that fucking scene in King Kong with Peter Jackson, and just like, oh, look at all this CGI stuff. Look how I'm so in danger from all this CGI green screen stuff falling around me. Oh my god. That's looking like a cartoon in a bad way. And then finally he's like, okay, I'm going to fight. And he grabs a guy and fucking breaks his neck by slamming his head down on the ground. And Bradley Cooper again is like, yeah! I'm like, you need another Brewski? There is a scene where he's holding a Budweiser, so I'm not far off from that. Maybe drinking too many buds. So, of course, then, Patrick Wilson is the villain. They made this complicated plan, which has so many holes in it, but whatever. Jessica Biel is there too. They arrest Patrick Wilson. And technically they have proved their innocence, but some bullshit thing, they're still arrested. Stupidity. Which, yeah, this doesn't make sense. They just proved their innocence and now they're arrested. Yes. And then they're ready to escape, and then the very final bit is them going, sorry, itching my nose. The whole, if you have a problem, maybe you can hire the A-team. Oh yeah, set up the film people would actually want to see in the last 10 seconds of your goddamn flick. What do people want to see in the movie? Oh, what you tell the tale of in the last 10 seconds of your footage before the end credits. And then if you watch the theatrical, they had cameos by Dwight Schultz, who played Murdoch, and Dirk Benedict, who played Peck, Templeton Peck, Faceman. And they just dumped them at the end credits. If you watch the extended cut, they're actually put into where they were supposed to be. But the fact when it went to theaters, they're like, we got these guys to film it, but people aren't going to give a shit if they're part of the film, so just dump them at the end credits, just like these out of the blue. Oh, here's a little scene, there's Dirk Benedict. Here's a little scene, there's Dwight Schultz. Like, what? Alan Silvestri, I'm sorry, he did not do a good job on the story. I'm like, Alan Silvestri, this is the guy who did Back to the Future and Predator. And, I mean, Alan Silvestri did a lot of great fucking musical scores. And this is the best he'd come up with for this? Definitely one of the more disappointing Alan Silvestri scores, I'll tell you that. The action is piss poorly handled and directed. The writing is garbage. Of the actors, these two are fucking garbage. Liam Neeson and Sharlto Copley do the best that they can. The movie is overlong. It feels overlong, just like this review. Rant, whatever the fuck. The plot's incomprehensible. The CGI is piss poor. You didn't need CGI in a goddamn A-team movie in the first place. You didn't need to see the origin, how they become the A-team. And you could tell that this was made by people who did not give a shit about the source material. They heard a couple things, they put them in, boom. Poor action, poor characterization, especially on BA and Face. And none of the sense of magic that the first 4 seasons of the A-Team show had. What made that show work were the 4 guys having this great chemistry playing off each other. You don't have that in this. And so many people are like, oh, it's such a fun, underrated film. Sorry, I disagree. If you want to pick an action film 2010 that's a fun, underrated one, I picked The Losers. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Chris Evans, Idris Elba. I think Zoe Saldana was in that too. That's one that's, to me, it's a lot better. Tremendous amount better than this. And it's a shame that Joe Carney wiped his ass with the A-Team name. I didn't do Mission Impossible. Tough titty. So yeah, this movie's a piece of shit. Watch it again, it's still a piece of shit. I was going to do a commentary on this. I got like 15 minutes in and I gave up because I had nothing to say other than I was being bored. So it would have been a lot of me just going and repeating the same shit over and over again. So thanks for watching, take care, and yeah, the A-Team stands for assholes because that's all the people who made this film were complete assholes. Later.